Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming series. My name is Bahamut, and I'm going to be your caster this evening. We have the members of Illidancing Queens on the left-hand side, and we got the members of Wood League on the right. This is going to be a Division C East matchup, if you're wondering for that one, but I'm sure you're wondering more, how we might have gotten to Volskaya Foundry. The home team this evening is going to be the Illidancing Queens. They went ahead and won the coin flip. Battlefield of Eternity and Tomb of the Spider Queen were banned out by them. Sky Temple and Braxis Holdout were banned out by the members of Wood League. So we will be going to Volskaya Foundry for our first map chosen by the members of Wood League. Let's go ahead and jump back into our draft and find out what we get here, because we have got a wonderful, wonderful matchup this evening. I actually think this is going to be really, really fun, but Wood League is going to go ahead and get rid of the Ariel, as well as the Joanna being removed by the members of Illidancing Queens. On a map like this, grouping is insanely powerful, so being able to use the Condemned to pull a couple members together is a strong tool in itself. And then you also have the Shield Glare for the blind, and the Iron Skin for the survivability. Otherwise, ban-wise, we could be seeing things like Garrosh, Ana, Stukov, Anduin. I mean, the list is really, really long here. It's also jumping around to different leagues. We're going to have different priorities. So right now, Sylvanas will actually be banned out, as she's an insanely powerful force on a map like this, being able to push with the Triglav Protector fairly effectively, as well as buffing out the turret camp by 60% with the Mercenary Queen at level 4, if she chooses to take that. You can also take possession and also push in very effectively with that one as well. But Deathwing will be banned out by the members of Wood League, as they don't want to deal with the Cataclysm resets, as well as just the overall presence and threat that he kind of poses to control-based maps. Infernal Shrines, Battlefield of Eternity, not Battlefield of Eternity, Volskaya Foundry, obviously, Towers of Doom, a lot of those maps where you're going to be kind of sitting around a point, that's really where Deathwing starts to thrive, and so Volskaya would be just a great place for them. But we do have a main tank Uther immediately coming out from the members of Illidancing Queens. Hopefully we get the Illidan here. I'm honest to God kind of hoping we get an Illidan. Divine Shield Illidan would be kind of fun, but that'll have to be something towards the later half of the draft. On the right-hand side from Wood League, we still have things like Garrosh up and available. They could go for like an early Garrosh and then maybe pick up an Ana as well with that, or maybe pick up a Stukov so you can pair and do a couple things together with the Lurking Arm, as well as the tosses for the displacement. But the one thing that's been rising quite a bit as of late is going to be Mal'Ganis. The brawling nature of him on a lot of maps where you are going to be brawling out. And I keep saying, these point control-based maps, but it is very much so like Volskaya, like Braxis Holdout, like Infernal Shrines. We've been seeing more and more Mal'Ganis because he just kind of brawls in those situations really, really effectively. Jane is going to be able to have some burst damage as well, so you have the Night Rush as a setup that puts the person to sleep, and then you're going to be able to get some burst with the Jaina. So this looks like it might not be main tank Uther, as we have an ETC Vala picked up on the opposing side. Vala's burst damage and sustain damage has actually been starting to pop up a little bit more lately. There's quite a few different builds you can go into with her, so we'll have to see what the direction they're going to be taking with that Vala will be. But I like the ETC as well. You have some good setup. You have the Mosh Pit with the Divine Shield as well from Uther, so you can kind of go into that duo right there. You get that Divine Cow. They're going to be looking to get rid of more damage here, so like a mage would be a good ban. Actually going to ban out the Rhaegar, so I wonder if they're maybe playing solo lane ETC with a main tank Uther. That could be the case. The other thing too is we did see previously that Born to Shine plays quite a bit of Rhaegar, so I think that might have just been a targeted ban to them. Why do you immediately say main tank Uther? He's still support, he's still frontline medic, like a D&D cleric. The reason I say main tank Uther is because they're grabbing it so early in this draft, and that's typically what we end up seeing from Uthers being grabbed this early into the draft. Obviously, it could be later, but most of the time when you're prioritizing someone that high into the draft, and it's going to be your healer or it's going to be your healer because support's a different class, but like the ETC with the Uther screams, I don't know. At first, it's because it's just the one pick. I was like, oh, it's main tank, but now you have the ETC, but ETC can be played in the solo lane with stage dives. So that's the reason I'm just like, I'm not 100% sold on this, and I think they might not be either. That's why we're seeing the Rhaegar ban, because they're just afraid of the supplemental healing coming in from them. This is actually going to be the big tell right here. They do need wave clear still on the side of Illidancing Queens. You can go into something like a Kael'thas. Gul'dan might not be a bad idea as well. Orphea is actually pretty strong here as well, just to be able to group up quite a few members, and then Val can get some burst onto them, or ETC can power slide in and find a mosh pit if they're not going to be going to stage dive. There's the second healer, so as I said, it's going to be main tank Uther coming out from them. Maybe offlane Cow? It's not too common, but it's definitely something that can pop up here. I actually think that this is going to be just hyper carry Vala with a Ragnaros in solo lane. I feel like Ragnaros will be in solo lane here, but I'm just not sure. I'm honestly not sure about the draft from Illidancing Queens. I'm trying to decide what direction they're going into this. We'll have to see what happens, but definitely, as I was saying, the reason that they picked Uther so early is because typically you are going to be picking up a second support. If you're waiting to grab that Uther, you might have prioritized some damage instead, or maybe the ETC. So IQ runs off Uther off lane, double support. Yeah, I've seen some offlane Uthers, but realistically, it's very early game offlane Uther, and then you end up swapping out with a different hero. So for example, you actually could run offlane Uther in the beginning of this game, and then when ETC gets stage dive, swap those two heroes out. I've actually seen that be a thing as well. So there's a lot of different directions we're going with this, but Uther as a main tank seems to be the jam quite a bit as of late. We'll have to see here as the game does progress, but this will be your draft for game number 1. The Rainer did round that out, and there was a Rexar as well with the Deckard Cain coming out from the side of Wood League. We didn't really talk about that much at all. The Rainer's actually going to be a beautiful pairing with the Jaina. They're going to be able to take Ace in the Hole at level 1 and gets the increased sustained damage from that benefit from Ace in the Hole to any, I believe it's slowed or rooted. Slowed, stun, and rooted, I think it is. We'll double check on the talent, because I would expect Rainer to be taking that at level 1. But we'll go ahead and get into game number 1 here and see what we get, as this will be Illidancing Queens on the left-hand side. We got the members of Hooked on Phoenix. We have the members of Illidancing Queens on the left-hand side. Hooked on Phoenix will be on the Uther. Yotaro will be on the Vala. Fury Popsicle going to be on the ETC. Born to Shine going to be on the Anduin, and all the way in the bottom lane, Sistrin going to be on the Ragnaros. On the right-hand side, we got the members of Woodley. We're going to be seeing Amusio on the Deckard Cain. Barcode will be on the Rainer. Cavalier is going to be on the Jaina. We have Emtino, I think it is going to be on the Mal'Ganis, and Cyan is going to be on the Rexar. Let's get into mid lane. It's stunned and slowed heroes. Okay, so not rooted. I know. I think it's just 2 conditions, not 3. Show beard. But Ace, you saw it. Oh, did you literally come in just after? They can't play anything but Uther, but that's why they pick them so fast. No, because we casted them last night, and I actually think they played many things besides Uther. They actually have a pretty decent hero pool, at least on the side of Illidancing Queens. I don't want to speak for Woodley, because I don't think I've actually casted them this season yet, but at least based on what I saw last night, Illidancing Queens has a decent hero pool. But we are going to be getting into rotations between top and mid, and this is going to be the core of this early game before we get into control point A, and that's going to be popping up at the 2-minute and 30 mark. You have that 3 minutes, you're able to cap it and fight over it, so until then it's going to be rotating around, grabbing some of these fortifications camps, maybe grabbing the siege camp on the left-hand side. I would expect in the rotation right here that there should be a break off. That's actually going to be Vala going ahead and jumping down here. Going to get some help out from the Uther, but this leaves ETC and Anduin to clear out the mid lane. Not the quickest clear, but at least it is still experience coming in for the friendly team. Sistrin in bottom lane is going to be going up against Cyan. This is going to be a little bit of a difficult time for this Ragnaros, just because of the oppressive nature of Misha and how much survivability she has. And it's not like the it's not like Ragnaros has a lot of good self-sustain early into the game, and being an oppressive giant bear that gets healed constantly. Yeah, and even then, even if you get the kill onto Misha, you still have to worry about Rexar, who's still throwing axes at your face or donating axes to your face, depending on how you're standing in lane. He took time to feed. But there's one talent you can't take at level 1, so I think it does kind of minimize what you're able to take. There's basically 2 talents I think at level 1 for Mal'Ganis at this point, because Winged Guard I believe is banned out. Also, Pina Colada, how you doing, friend? Thanks for coming by. Good to see everyone in chat. Sorry if I missed you. Alrighty, we do have continued rotations, but I keep wanting to jump down here because I'm interested to see how this matchup's going to work out between these two. Right now, it's I wouldn't say passive, but both these teams are really not trying to be too aggressive within the rotation. So down here in this bottom lane is where we'll at least see some aggression back and forth, and it's always good just to highlight the solo laners, because they're players that often just kind of like see you at the objective, and then once the objective ends, it goes see you at the next objective. All right. But it's 5 up on both sides. Misha going to be trying to get a dive onto Ragnaros. They've got that blast wave to get themselves out. Still staying down here, though, making sure they're soaking up that experience for the friendly team. We actually have Pursuit of Justice. No, it's Holy Fire. My mistake. I'm still learning all the Uther icons constantly, because I was just like, oh wait, no, the Pursuit of Justice actually I think is like it's a hammer icon. But the only reason I was thinking that is because they went to Hammer the Lightbringer, which is going to be just them gonna allow them to chase even further with with their CC. Sorry, is Hammer of Justice is not the talent. Hammer of Justice is the actual ability. I can't think of the name of it. Pursuit of Justice, I think, is that. There we go. Either way, 7s are about to be here on both sides, as we do have our first objective up and available. It's going to be held over by the members of Wood League for now. Biotic Emitter will be grabbed by Born to Shine, and it looks like we should be having our first major engagement pop up here over Control Point A. Power Slide from ETC is really good for the setup. Blast Wave going to be going into them. Jaina's going to be taking a lot of initial damage. Decker Kane's going to get a lockdown to do a couple with that really good root. Scroll of Sealing is going to be able to just buy a little bit of time. That also means that Jaina's able to tap well, get a couple healing potions. Rex are going to be rotating in as well with the Misha. Also, really good note right here, Wood League stopping exactly at 69%. Just perfect. We do have that Misha Bear diving in currently. ETC is going to get cleansed out by the Uther, as they did have their 7 talent tier, and so they picked up that really detrimental talent, and that's going to be a huge factor as this game does progress, because there's quite a bit of CC coming out from the members of Wood League. This is going to be Fury Popsicle so very low. Actually ends up power sliding into the enemy team. It's going to be a Scroll of Sealing to lock in one. Can ETC get out alive? Looks like the Biotic Emitter will be enough to keep them alive for now. Misha Bear going to be targeted. They will be getting picked off. It's not going to count as a full kill, but still, it's going to be at least a kill. Power Slide from ETC once again, and they're going to be looking for the Jaina. Finds that last hit, and that will be the last hit they need to be able to solidify their first kill of the game. Ragnaros will be popping over into Molten Core form just to zone back the enemy team, but the issue here is that I feel like they might have popped this a little bit early. It's a 120-second cooldown, and they only have 50%, so this means that the enemy team's going to be able to cycle around. Jaina's back in 1 second, and they're going to still have to defend against the enemy team, as we are also going to be seeing both fortification camps going to be picked up from either side. They could look to invade, but they really don't know how far along they are with that, so it's just a bit of too risky of a play right there. Yo, Ghost Dunk, how's it going, bud? Atlas, how are you doing, friend? Good to see everyone in chat. All right, we have overtime on the control point in favor for the members of Illidancing Queens. Misha Bear getting a little bit of damage thrown onto them, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough to solidify a kill. And this Mal'Ganis is getting very low here, and I'm getting worried for them. Misha is also going to get stunned out. Looks like they're actually going to survive through that, as we still have both of the fortification camps they were actually hitting each other for a couple seconds. Misha going to be rotating back in. That's a very good charge, finding 2 stuns. Uther will be going down. They do have some ghost heals for the friendly team, but this is going to be the cycle coming out from the members of Illidancing Queens. They either have to give this over and give over Triglav Protector, or defend, and it looks like they were trying to poke for a second. They were unsure, but that will be first Triglav Protector going over in favor for the members of Wood League. Animal Husbandry is a butt-bellant. I mean, Buttspot only speaks the truth. Also, someone asked what Bandit's thoughts were on the draft, and he was leaning towards the fact that they have a Misha in the game, and that's all he cared about, so that's his opinion on it. 10 talent hero around the corner in just a second in favor for the members of Wood League, but they're not too far behind on the side of Illidancing Queens. This is also a really, really good, I didn't think they were going to be able to get that well and still get it with the Triglav Protector, but that was just really good aggression and CC coming out from them, as they'll back off. They have their 10 talent here. Both sides actually will have it. I'm trying to see if we get any sort of shenanigans here, as that will be the Divine Mosh from the ETC. Actually, not Divine Mosh. They have the Mosh Pit. We haven't seen if Uther's gone into Divine Storm or into Divine Shield. But they find another Misha kill. Lava Wave through mid lane. Divine Storm for the Uther, so no Holy Cow. Anduin could be going into Holy Word Salvation. No, it's going to be the Light Bomb. So they're looking for aggression here. They're going to be going into Light Bomb with Mosh Pit, maybe throw a Divine Storm somewhere in between, before or after all that. And then not to forget, you've got the Rain of Vengeance from the Jaina, but speaking on the opposing side, you have a Ring of Frost coming out from that Jaina right there, as that's going to be ETC getting sniped in the back. We also had the Ragnaros and Uther getting picked off, and this will be Biotic Emitter being picked up by the members of Wood League. I might have said that backwards. I think I said Jaina had Rain of Vengeance or something like that. Either way, we're talking about just all the chain CC they had on the side of Illidancing Queens, but at the same time, that Ring of Frost was a very good setup. You also have to stay a while and listen to lock them down afterwards. You also have the Release the Boars, or is it Release the Boars? Unleash the Boars from the Rexar for the a little bit of follow-up chase and damage realistically. I mean, it is still going to be a little bit of damage colliding into those players, so not only do you get the 40% slow, but you also get some 200 damage. Well, a little bit less. I think it was like 170 something. Yeah, 175 or 6. So for now, this is going to be really strong for both sides, but it is going to be 11 to 12 in levels. We'll go ahead and cycle through some of the other numbers really quickly, get an idea of what those look like, because we have had quite a few fights thus far, and we can look at the damage, experience, as well as the healing coming in for all these players. And we can also look at the KDA breakdown on top of all of that. But now, with 13 talent here around in the corner, they're looking to maybe press up a little bit further into this mid lane and soften this up, maybe even take down a fort, or maybe just find a kill or two. The big thing that I want to note here is going to be we're about like 2-ish minutes away from a Triglav Protector, so it's going to be a bit of time while they're needing to manage lanes, push up, and potentially find more fights. Or it's just going to be, yeah, see, this is the step up they need, but they're not going to be able to capitalize too much onto this. Lava Wave coming in through bottom lane, which means that there's going to be a Ragnaros still in top lane. You can see him over there. So just clearing that out, making sure they are getting the experience, because the Lava Wave does pick up the experience. That was a weird animation. It almost like didn't render while I wasn't looking at it, and then when I did, it was like, oh crap, I need to be here on the map. Either way, 13 getting around the corner in favor for the members of Illidancing Queen, so at least be in the same talent tier. But right now, I'm just looking at camp timers. Looks like everything is pretty much on cooldown for the next minute to 2 minutes. So until then, it's just going to be soaking up. And wait, is that the actual barcode? No, I don't think it is. Even then, I don't even know who the actual barcode is these days. Ring of Vengeance. Yeah, I knew I dyslexia'd that one. Smash would have given them 5 Sun Heroics. I kinda was wishing for that a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. That is going to be the stale while and listen for the Deckard Cain. We have control point opening up here, and it is going to be so far positionally in favor for the members of Illidancing Queens, but Wood League, I honest to God cannot count them out. They've been turning around so many of these team fights. The initiation has been consistently coming out from Illidancing Queens. Unfortunately, they just constantly turn this around with just the control that they bring. You also have, well, I was going to say, you have the Ring of Frost and Hyperion to zone things back and kind of control where people are standing, and then you also have the Carrion Swarm for some self-heal, stay a while and listen to lock them down, maybe buy some time to get away. But Unleash the Boars has gone out, as Sestrin's going to get chased out a little bit. There's going to be Fury Popsicle able to make it out, just fine. Anduin actually ends up stepping into the Ring of Frost, but they don't end up getting picked off, as this will be control point going over to the side of Wood League. And as I was saying, they were trying to find some sort of fight in this, and then they end up just kind of constantly on this back foot towards their own fort, which is smart. I mean, if they don't feel comfortable, backing off is going to work out for them. It's not like they have to win it immediately. It's only 50% right now, so they can jump onto this. Hooked on Phoenix is looking for an angle to step up. ETC still has Mosh, Light Bomb still up and available, so they can go in for a combo. The only thing that's on cooldown on the opposing side is going to be the Unleash the Boars, as well as the Ring of Frost from the Jaina. But look at all those pots sitting on the control point right now. They're ready to just heal up if necessary. Power Flash slide from the ETC. That's going to be a mosh pit as well. That's going to be Rainer knocking them out with the penetrating round. Divine Storm coming out as well. They're focusing on the Jaina, but they're not going to be able to find the kill in time as ETC goes down. That's going to be the Light Bomb coming out from Anduin on to Hooked on Phoenix as they're trying to make their way out. That's going to be a great leap of faith to save them right there, as this will be a wonderful stun, and I think there was a chastise afterwards. They do end up losing the Triglav Protector, but they only end up giving over the kill onto ETC. So very well played from both sides, but this will be Triglav Protector in favor for Wood League, as they also find themselves up about a level in favor for, excuse me, they find themselves up a level against the opposing side. I might have to stalk both of the opponents tomorrow, Kappa. Do we have the names switched, or does Baja keep saying the other team? Illidancing Queens is on the left-hand side. That's Born to Shine's team. Wood League is on the right. Or are you hearing Wood Queens instead of Wood League? Power slide from ETC will get them out right there. That's going to be the Night Rush coming out from Elganis as well. Yeah, Wood League is going to be fine with this Triglav Protector, going to be able to push in through bottom lane, as they also will... Ooh, they catch the foot of Ragnaros, going to get a little extra poke onto them, but I think this is going to be just about as much as we get from this second Triglav Protector phase. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to step up any further. It's just going to be a whole lot of back and forth as it does end up going down. Top lane did have the fort go down as well, so you're going to be having the constant catapult pressure coming in right there. We can actually look at the 16 talent here that was picked up during all of that, as well as we did have quite a few kills in that later half. Oh, hold on. This is going to be a wonderful rotation as the Boars will be unleashed. They're going to try and find someone locked down. They do end up getting the foot of the Vala. That's going to be a wonderful Night Rush from Mal'Ganis. They also pop the Carrion Storm. Will be interrupted by the Divine Storm as well. Hooked on Phoenix, not able to get out in time. That will be the Stay a While and Listen. listen. Misha charges in as well, and they just shred through this team. Members of Wood League just clean up as they can look for a fort in bottom lane. They got a single minion. No, they got a wave coming in, so they'll be able to get this fort down here. They're gonna leave the Rexar to go ahead and handle that, as the Rainer's gonna be coming up here to try and steal away the siege camp. We trying to tilt Baja with his dyslexia? Absolutely, yes. Absolutely. That is apparently the game plan this evening. But it will be 16 talent tier round in the corner in favor for the members of Illidancing Queens in just a second. And this is just going to be just grabbing every single camp, keeping their experience up in their favor on the side of Wood League. I gotta say, like, they're in the driver's seat, and it's really, really hard to come back in these situations. They will be on even talent here, and they can fight over this next engagement, but any single time they actually try and step up into this team, they have some way of stopping the engagement from happening. ETC power slides in, you've got penetrating round from the Rainer. If they continue to step up, you've got the Boars from the Rexar to slow everyone down. Jaina lands a Ring of Frost, you've got a Stay a While and Listen, you've got Hyperion as well from Rainer, so there's a lot of damage coming out, but it's more, in a sense, controlling coming out from Wood League, whereas Illidancing Queens are trying to initiate, and it's just not working out. I mean, you have the Light Bomb for initiation, you have the Power Slide as well from the ETC. Reign of Vengeance has the ability to lock down one from the Vala as well, so it's just one of those things where, like, they're trying to make these plays happen, but it's just, unfortunately, it's just not lining up for them, as they're going to poke onto this Misha Bear in bottom lane, but they end up just backing out, saying it's not worth it. We don't really know where all the enemy members are. They actually might have seen them in mid lane, now that I say that, so they're going to rotate into mid lane and look for another Power Slide. They're trying to capitalize on something here. It looks like the members of Wood League, though, are trying to also look for 20 talent here and just not fight until that happens. They might be able to pick up 20 talent here before control point C. We're not too far off from it. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We're not too far off from it, but even then they can give over a little bit of the charge and then potentially rotate into Illidancing Queens and try and find a fight that way. Either way, Ragnaros and Vala will be in the bottom lane, just trying to also make sure that they're soaking up for the friendly team. But positionally, you want to be starting to rotate down here, get on the point, and get ready to brawl out against the opposing side. Looking forward to you casting our game later tonight. I'm excited to be doing it, guys. Both of these team names are S-Class. Langaria, how you doing? Pet Wolverine, how you doing, friend? Good to see everyone in chat. Skipmo, how you, bud? Just hoof? That's the blow up they needed. They find the Deckard Cain kill immediately. This is going to be Hyperion coming in from the Reina as well, but they can play to the far side of this. Not that big of a deal. It's actually Sestron taking a lot of damage. Biotic Emitter is going to be something they're grouping around. Seems like they're going to be able to disengage from this, but that was a blow up that they needed on Deckard Cain. 45 seconds for them. Deckard Cain should be back up, and they should be able to fight over this, but they're also going to be needing to manage top lane at some point. This will push in because the siege camp is just going to be so aggressive and so sorry, I was just like, where did Rainer go? And okay. Rainer was apparently still in bottom lane when all that was happening, and I didn't see because of all the portraits were on top of them, but that's going to be Power Slide from the ETC. They are capitalizing on these just staggered kills. This is working out perfect for Illidancing Queens as they go ahead and they pop the solo mosh onto Mal'Ganis, but it just doesn't connect. Nobody saw it. No one saw the 2-minute cooldown that they currently have to wait through, but now this top lane, this is what I was talking about earlier. Anduin currently sitting on the point over here, ETC threatening, but they haven't seen the enemy team, so they're like, wait a minute, is this just ETC? Where's the rest of the team? They actually end up grabbing the camp on the left-hand side. If ETC can live through this, that'd be wild, but there's no way from the ability power damage coming out from them. Do they have another face melt? Actually, I think they end up getting it on the side of the of Wood League, and Illidancing Queens is not able to steal that away, but it was a good harass for a little bit. Does buy them a little bit of time. Anduin thought about rotating up, as that was a little bit of the charge going away for a couple seconds. Ragnaros is grabbing this camp. This might be a little too much, because Deckard Cain is back, and they've got 80%, and they know that the enemy team's going to be stepping up to try and go for this. This is a little bit late, so you can see them right now. They're playing aggressive in lane, and actually they end up getting it. Okay. I was thinking that they were going to try and step up to this, but realistically, they didn't know Ragnaros was in that top lane grabbing that camp. So since we did, it was just like, wait, what? No, just go and step up onto the point. But it's just one of those things like we know. Now, granted, this is control point C Triglav Protector. This thing hits very, very hard. What are we looking at for auto attack damage? 434 auto attack damage from this Triglav Protector, and that's not even considering the fact that you still have that Gunner who's going to be throwing out damage as well. Illidancing Queens are staggering up to a comeback. Seriously. Oh Oh dear God, that's going to be Mal'Ganis with the Carrion Swarm at the literal last second. Divine Storm coming out from Uther. They have 20 talent here, and they did not pick Redemption. They went into Divine Hurricane. So this is going to be 3 members getting picked off. No revive or redemption for the Uther, as this Trigla Protector went from being insanely powerful to now saying, well, we only lost 3 rather than losing 5, as Barcode chases into this, but going to be able to just force them back, and this will be top lane cleared out, and we're going to be resetting for what could potentially be our 4th Trigla Protector face in the game, as ETC got out of the Trigla Protector to try and chase the Raynor a bit more. Trigla Protector still has 30 seconds. It is visible on the map to the opposing side as well, so they will be able to know, hey, Trigla Protector is just kind of doing this right now. 3-level deficit erased? Yeah, seriously. We've actually looked at the talents for quite some time. Let's go ahead and actually look at some of the other numbers. We haven't looked at the heroic damage experience as well as the healing that's been going on, as well as looking at the KDA breakdown, as Fury Popsicle is having a go on this conveyor belt, huh? That was interesting.
You pushed the protector to its limit. Well done.
Okay, sorry. Just wanted to fix something really quickly, vision-wise. There we go. But now it's a weird spot to be in the game right now, just due to the fact that it's even talent tiers, and that those staggered deaths really kind of changed everything. That really throws the momentum off for a team who had been in the driver's seat for the majority of the game. I mean, you can look at the kills, 4 to 12. The members of Wood League have been constantly picking enemy members off and just able to just keep themselves ahead, and those coupled staggered deaths really threw them off a bit here. They're regrouping, and I think they're going to be able to kind of pull this back together, but I'm not counting the members of Illidancing Queens out whatsoever here. I think they were a little shaky at the start, but I think they found their footing in this game right now, and I think over control point A, our 4th control point, which I think is about a minute to a minute and a half away from being up and available, will be what decides this game. Mid lane could be, excuse me, bottom lane is going to be the end condition for the members of Illidancing Queens, and I would say actually bottom lane, no, mid lane I think is just going to be, that's the quickest rotation they can make. Meanwhile, in mid lane, this actually will be Mal'Ganis trying to use the Carrion Swarm. It's going to be thrown onto a 10-second cooldown. Divine Hurricane will be used just to solidify the kill. Now, they did go into, I guess, well, it's still Divine Storm, but they went into the upgrade, and that's going to be reducing the cooldown by 40 seconds. So you have a 40, you can throw out a Divine Storm every 40 seconds, and I believe, is there increased duration as well? It's just the radius increase, that's what it is. Is that the new way to beast step, conveyor belt step? Yeah, that was a weird interaction in that corner over there. I'm surprised by that one. But currently in the top lane, we're going to be having the members of Illidancing Queen stepping up. Actually, no, they're going to be. Oh wait, hold on, shush. Are we playing a little bit of a bush party here? Uther's going to be having Divine Storm in the next 2 seconds, so they could be looking to threaten with that. I didn't actually look at the opposing side upgrades as well. Mal'Ganis did go for the Seeker Swarm, so the bats will actually chase after them and actually sleep them as well. I didn't realize that sleep part. But we also have the Cold Snap for the Jaina. I've actually seen, I feel like I've been seeing so much Cold Snap lately. They're actually going to vault past this. This is going to be the Hyperion coming out from the Raynor, as they're going to be trying to play within their own Hyperion here, and that will be Raynor getting picked off. They drop the Biotic Emitter. That's going to be a stay a while and listen. They do end up picking it up. Ragnaros will have that for the friendly team. Going to be the top lane for it, still just like shooting during this entire phase. They actually drop the Biotic Emitter using the... Oh, I couldn't think of Shifting Meteor to be able to get a little dismounting and also just kind of slow them down and throw them back. But now, Control Point A opening up once again. They had that kill on the Raynor, but the opposing side still lost their Vala. So it's going to be sustained damage for sustained damage. The unfortunate factor is you're now looking at just a Ragnaros for the majority of your damage versus the enemy team who's got a Jaina. And I know this is a bit of an odd one, but I'd say Rexxar. Rexxar actually puts out a decent amount of damage here. We can kind of see that he's got 52,000 currently. Casual. Let's throw away. What's up? Look at that little goatee you got next to your name. You killed it with the cheer badges, but that's going to the power slide. But they also went to they pulled them away with the leap of faith. Whew. Did they go into the upgrade at level 20 for Leap of Faith? They did. They went to the Glyph of Faith, so they have that second charge. So they'll have 2 charges, it's still the full 80-second cooldown onto it. 80 seconds? That sounds wrong. I feel like it's 40 seconds. It's 80 seconds, okay. It just that, like I said it, and I was like, man, that feels like forever. But yeah, no, it is forever because it's such a detrimental talent. So to be able to have two of them, that's gonna be huge. Now they also pop the Molten Core form from the Ragnaros. Ooh, wow, that's gonna be a great light bomb. They have the Divine Storm out as well. The Ring of Frost underneath all of this is gonna start to turn it around as Uther goes down, ETC goes down. They did go into Death Mosh. That will be the Trigla Protector picked up for the members of Wood League, as Illidancing Queens will be losing 3 members. The Mal'Ganis the only one to go down on the side of Wood League, and now they take the Trigla Protector. And they're considering, where do we want to try and end through? 40 seconds on average for the enemy side. They've got a 4th Trigla Protector. This one has 36,000 health. And it hits for 579 in auto. Like, you can just see right now, the keep health absolutely being shredded by this thing. And I think they might be able to solidify game number 1 here with this 4th Trigla Protector, but we'll have to see. They're going to try and force their way into this. That's going to be Vala with a lot of good sustain damage. Ragnaros was trying to step up as well. They won't have the Molten Core form up for probably another 60 or so seconds, and this is still Trigla Protector on the core. They're trying to find their way into the backline. Barcode is putting a lot of damage out. That's going to be the Ring of Frost out as well. Ragnaros gets shredded. They end up losing the Rainer on the opposing side. There's the Cold Snap coming out as well. Cavalier, I think they're just trying to go for KDA here. They end up getting that, but that still will be core going down, and the members of Wood League take game number 1 in our first best of 3 series. GG. Well played. A very, very good game number 1. All right, I already know what the map is going to be, but we're going to show talents after the stats, right, really quick, just so you can all get a peek at all of that. Yes, finally, I knew our mother team would start getting it together. Vavala's tilting you? Decent amount of damage. All right, let's pull back to Bandit and I, and let's go ahead and update some team score stuff. That's the wrong one. It's the right one. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and get ourselves set up for our next map as well. Cool. We'll get this player in here. Let's get this player in here as well. Sorry, one of the players like literally isn't even in the game anymore. I was just confused. Is there someone from the opposing side in one of the chats? That's odd. Well, hopefully we can get them in here in a second. Trait value? Oh, also, does anyone else find that Uther dies a lot? Not just Phoenix, but everyone I see on Uther. I'm projecting because of my mom. I mean, he does have some trait value when he's dead. I don't know. I don't think I see him die too much, but if you are running double support, there is a play around the fact that you do have that. Hot's throwaway with the Bandit Redemption treat. Look at you. All right, we can get the other team in here as well because I see that they're back in the Nexus. Bandit, you want a treat, bud? You want a cookie? You want one of these? Oh, yeah. Come on, bud. Come say hi to stream. Hello. High five. You're a good boy. Can I have another paw? Other paw? Good boy. You just drool? Was it that good? Thank you, Hot Throwaway, for redeeming a treat for Bandit. Thank yous very much. Was that good? Was it yummy? Was it everything you wanted it to be? Okay. Sorry, I thought they ended up saying a different map, and I was like, wait, did I mess up? No, we did not. All right, we're all good with that one. We'll get the teams in here in a second. Also, let's update the map information too. How is everyone's night going? You excited for all the games that we have this evening? Uther 101, use cooldown, die, heal eternally. See, Zulrul knows what's up. That's exactly it, Zulrul. Yes, yes. I only watched this stream for Bandit. I don't know what Heroes of the Storm even is, to be honest. Well, the nice thing is, Hot's Throwaway, is you came to the right place to learn about Heroes of the Storm. I can teach you. I can tell you all the things. And then you can download the game. If you didn't know this, it's free. You can go to www.heroesofthestorm.com, I think. I don't know. You can Google Heroes of the Storm and you can download the game. I know you're being facetious, but still. We do try and teach through our casting a little bit. We try and at least kind of throw out some decent information to some of the players out there. And then we like to just, you know, throw them off by letting our brain move words and letters around. Good, we won our first game of the night. Nice! Really? I wonder, oh, they had to restart their PC. Okay, I was like, where is this team? Because I keep seeing the captain go on and off, or online, offline, and I was trying to find one of the other opposing players, or one of the players on that team. Can I get Cyan in here? Or Cyan in here? I keep wanting to say Cyan, I don't know why. Free game? Yeah. I've actually got, I've got key codes to this game. It's Blizzard Heroes of the Storm. Oh, Blizzard's / Heroes of the Storm. Thank you. Thank you. All right, well, we'll have to wait for these players to get into lobby. I don't have anything to raffle off this evening, unfortunately. Can you tell me whether people who run Juice Pirates are scumbags or scumbags? Choose wisely. I think people who run Juice Pirates are people who run Juice Pirates. I don't know, like, Juice Pirates is one of those things that, like, you can kind of see it coming a little bit, so it's not, like, the biggest worry in the world. LA traffic in LA is blah. Jace, how you doing, bud? Thanks for coming by. Yeah, I couldn't imagine driving in LA traffic ever. I have to do it once a year around BlizzCon time because I usually see friends in like Burbank and stuff. So I usually like fly into Burbank and then I'll stay there for a couple days and I'll take a taxi down to Anaheim, so it's like 45-ish minutes, and like that's enough for me. That is more than enough for me. That is a drive. Like I told my parents like the distance of it, and they were like, "Oh, so it'll take like 10-20 minutes." I'm like, "No, it's gonna take like an hour." What's wrong with Juice Pirates? Nothing, Jim. Nothing is wrong with Juice Pirates. Just counter it. Yeah, see, Pet Wolves knows. Just counter it. That's it. Just counter it. Things like blinds are really good. Things like stasis are really good. You can obviously ban out against the, you can get rid of the Lieutenant Morales. You can get rid of Tyrael as well. So there's a lot of options to get to take away from that. But the big thing is also blinds. Like if Greymane, who's often picked with this, is one of the hero. Like if Greymane's in there and he's actually one of the major siege factors, you just blind the crap out of him, dive him, and kill him. So I could totally watch HOTS game in traffic, kind of like old-timey radio where the speakers just cast the game except HOTS. I actually used to do that during HTC days. When I worked in an office, I would actually have I had two monitors, and I had like a box, like no joke, this big on like the corner of my monitor, and I'd watch Heroes of the Storm, but I'd mostly be listening to it because I'd be working. So it like that's how I like kept up with Heroes of the Storm. It was like a 2-inch by 1-inch little box in the corner of my monitor. So if someone walked in my office, I could just like click on Spotify, and it would go behind. Teams are. Let's find out if the teams are ready, and let's go ahead and get into game number 2 in here in just a second. Thank you all for hanging out. Thanks for supporting, and thanks for helping us push closer and closer to Twitch Partner. Hopefully we can get that fairly soon, and I can shut up about it, and we can do all the fun stuff. Okay. Let's go ahead and get on into our second game. Just making sure that all of that was set up. Oh, wait, no. Did I get it in time? I didn't get it in time. I didn't get it in time. Well, we have the wrong banners. Sorry, everyone. Welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. My name is Bahamut. On the left-hand side, we get the members of Illidancing Queens down 1 in our best of 3 series, and on the right is going to be Wood League up 1. They're going to try and close this out in a 2-0 fashion, as we are going to be finding ourselves here on Infernal Shrines for our game number 2 in our first best of 3 series. Let's go ahead and jump over to our maps and find out how we got to Infernal Shrines. Contender, thank you for the follow. As we get into this right here, home team is going to be the members of Illidancing Queens, and they won the coin flip, opting for map pick priority in game number 1. Excuse me, first pick priority in game number 1. They ban out Battlefield of Eternity and Tomb of the Spider Queen. Sky Temple and Braxis Holdout were banned out by the members of Wood League, as Volskaya Foundry will be the first map chosen by them. They won that. The members of Illidancing Queens opted for map pick priority in game number 2, and they are the ones who decided to take us to Infernal Shrines here. So let's go ahead and get back into the draft and find out what we get. Okay, sorry. I was wondering if they were going to harass me because I accidentally didn't put Hooked on Phoenix as the drafter, which that was my mistake. I just blanked on who was actually setting up right there, but either way. Oh man, butt spots, just attempting some big ol' sentences right there. All right, so Uther will be respect banned out. Actually, this is going to be a Ariel banned out as well. Deathwing is still up and available. And I was noting earlier how strong he is on some of these control-based maps. So Infernal Shrines, we're going to be around this shrine all grouped up and fighting. He actually does really well here, and I think they're considering it because the opposing side has first pick, and they could first pick a Deathwing, and then they try and counter it throughout the draft, or they just ban it out and not have to deal with it. Now, this does still leave a lot of things open. I mean, you have Garrosh, you've got Stukov's up and available. You have still ETC, who's been making waves lately, oddly enough. Muradin's up and available as well. Like, there's a lot of great main tanks. I mean, if you want to really start to get into it, if you want to go into a dive composition, you can go into Diablo here, and then maybe pick up something like a Grey Main within your draft as well. But Kael'thas will be the first pick coming out from the members of Wood League. Illidancing Queens, I'm trying to think. What are they going to be trying to play here? You're obviously going to want to prioritize the shrine, but this early into the draft, I think they're going to lock in their main tank and their healer, and then that way they're not showing too much of the draft, or they lock in what they really want to prioritize for the shrine phase. Like, maybe they just pick up the Jaina Raynor here, so at least they have their auto attackers. There's actually going to be the Vala very early with a Tassadar, oddly enough. The only thing that happens with this right now is you picked up the Tassadar so early in your draft that now the enemy team knows that you are going to be running double support. Tassadar is typically, if ever, a supplemental support, or he's kind of on the side when you typically have some sort of main healer. We'll have to see what that's going to be after the ban phase. Yo, Totski, how's it going? Look at that gigantic beard Totski has. Oh, that sea captain beard. Thanks for coming by, bud. Games, by the way, earlier were awesome. You guys are hilarious. Thank you for the Weeb Wednesday with all those fun friends and Dids, I guess. Is this the Mines map? Is the Mines map no longer in the game? It occurred to me I haven't seen it in forever. No, it was taken out of rotation a long time ago, meaning that it's no longer in the actual gameplay rotation. So you won't get in quick match, AI, unranked, Storm League, whatever you want to call it. But you can still play it in custom games. There's actually like a week or so ago, we did a fun little night where we had a bunch of replays, and there was like it was like Tetcher and a bunch of there was like the Gilly Sharks and Tetcher and Selexia and like a bunch of different people all kind of grouped up, and they played Warhead Junction, Blackheart's Bay. They played not Tomb of the Spider Queen. They played Haunted Mines, which was so much fun to cast because I never get to cast Haunted Mines. So I was really ecstatic about that one. But we are going to be seeing a ban coming out from the right-hand side, and this is what I was talking about with the fact that they picked up the Tassadar. They know that they're going to be going to another support. Oddly enough, they actually ban out 3 supports. Not really oddly enough, but just really trying to lower that hero pool. Now, Rhaegar is still up and available, and we actually saw Born to Shine play that quite a bit last night, so we could be seeing that picked up for them. Or if they are worried about this enemy team stepping up quite a bit, they could maybe go into the Anduin, go into that Holy Word Salvation, or even Light Bomb, but they still need something to dive in with that. So there's the Rhaegar, as we discussed. Sonya for the solo lane, as well as on the Shrine. She's insanely impactful, but they're going to need to round the draft with a main tank. It was fun. You guys are always fun. It was always fun to watch you guys just tear it up in the Nexus for a bit. It's perfect for my workday because I think right about when the stream was ending. Yeah, because the next group came on at 4 o'clock PST. I was done with my workday, and I was just like, oh, okay, cool, like that worked out. So you guys carried me through the majority of my workday, which was awesome. But Chen will be rounding out this draft with a Raynor as well. The sustained damage from Raynor in the last game was really good, and they have decent amount of slows and stuff like that for ace in the hole as well. I mean, you have like reverse amp if you want from the Lucio as well. Looks like we have a bit of a dodge right there, as someone is going to be falling out of our draft. Their own team is saying to report their own player. I don't know what happened. Thanks for the info. I haven't played in a long time. Just noticed. Yeah, no problem. My stream is always open to questions and stuff like that. The game as a whole removed by Blizzard. Yeah, unfortunately. Well, hopefully they've got some. You know what? I wish I. You know what I would have asked at BlizzCon is when I wish I would have asked if they had any plans at some of the Q&A stuff we went to. So it looks like someone's been having some odd internet issues, so I'm asking them if they restarted their router before getting into the next game. Cool. Looks like they're restarting their router right now. All right. I wish I had skin codes or stuff to give away to you all, but I don't have any. He just did a normal reset before. Makes sense, yeah. You usually reboot your computer before you reboot your router, just for ease of it all. I wish I could watch Twitch streams at work. I mean, I'm not technically supposed to, but it's not like I sit there and like that's all I'm doing. So it's definitely a balance. Like you definitely need to be able to balance it out. I typically have to usually mute the stream, throw on music, and then I have it on the side monitor and I'll glance over on it here and there. Yes. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Someone else in this chat has watched the IT crowd. What's up, Neo, by the way? Thanks for coming by, friend. Good to see you. I mean, you can watch Twitch streams at work, just don't get caught. That's poor life advice from Bahamut right there. Speed giraffe, everything is the same, yeah. If I recall correctly, they mentioned it in recent AMA that there is currently a plan to bring mines back. Pet Wolverine, please? I would love that. I'm sorry. Their team members are like harassing, like Born, as in Born to Shine. Can you please submit my official complaint to the board about Cav is their captain of their team? What kind of work do? I work for a steel company back in Michigan. And I do light gauge steel drafting. So the easiest way to describe my job is part of our company does construction site fencing. That is the bread and butter of what we do. So the chain link fencing you see around construction sites or any site in general, our company does a lot of that. My department, or actually our department, does light gauge steel work or stainless steel or aluminum, meaning that we do the guardrails, handrails, ornamental metals that you see at a lot of, well, places in general. Like if you've ever put your hand on a handrail, someone had to design it. That's part of my job. I also get to do some of the fancy stuff where we have the ornamental stuff. So there was like some filigree over a fire station. So it was all, you know, designed in AutoCAD by me and water jet cut and sent down to like Indiana or something like that. And then they broke it and then they tried to blame us. And then I called them out because literally like, so they used like, so there was like, there was bolts that were put into the face of the building. And then we measured those bolts and then we said, cool, we're going to design it so there's holes here, here, and here. And then when they went to hang it up, they actually broke it. And then they said it was our fault. But then I went and looked at it. There was actually, it's not easy to do this. There was actually the threading from the threaded rods that were actually embedded into the to the steel itself, which means they were using a jack or something to bend it and put it into place. So we ended up just calling them out on that, and we were like, well, no, you broke it. You tried to force it instead of calling us to fix it beforehand. So that was all that. But that's what our department does. And then we also have a third department that does concrete work. So we do precast concrete walls, which is something that is very unique for our area because a lot of the time when you do concrete walls, you have to, you know, cast it and then either you cast it in a shop and then take it somewhere, or you cast it in the field. Ours, we can actually cast it in the shop and then bolt it in place, so that way you actually don't need to actually, you don't have to worry about like just the concrete slab itself being adhered some way, shape, or form. It's just like literally bolted in with steel, which works really, really well. Anyways, that's pretty much my job. Adas, how you doing, friend? Thanks for coming by. Don't break the internet shoebox. Yes, Bahamut takes raw materials and makes them into perfection. That's a good way to say it. Light gauge steel drafting. You mean late game hot drafting? Let me ask the teams if they're ready. When do you wake up in the morning? That's Bahamut. When you wake up in the morning, that's Bahamut. Oh. All right. Okay. Let me also do this. Let me make the right person the right thing. All right. Let's push the right buttons and let's get into this. But if that was a question, what time I get up in the morning? I get up at 5:30. That's the wrong button. I did that twice today. All right, it's gonna cancel the music. We have to put that back on. Welcome back to our match here. We currently had a little bit of internet issues. We had them restart their router. They're back in here, so now they're speed drafting. I'm just letting them know they got a speed draft. So Wood League is going to be on the right-hand side. We are going to be having Illidancing Queens on the left. This is going to be our first best-of-3 series. I'm confused either way. Bahamut is everywhere, pretty much. What's the sweating snowman for, Zool Rolls? The fact that I wake up at 5:45? Or the fact that I work a 10-hour shift, like hang out for an hour and then cast for 4 hours straight? Probably three tonight. Deathwing will be banned out here. We've already seen this ban. I think the only two heroes we didn't see is actually the last pick coming out for the members of Illidancing Queens, so this should be a very, very quick draft.
From order.
Just a joke about you looking out for us being everywhere at once. Omni Bahamut. That's not the correct order! No, I'm just kidding, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm Omni Bahamut. That's actually really funny, yeah. Like omnipresent, but Omni Bahamut. I get you. The reason, if you might have missed it, the reason we're speeding through this draft is we had a player DC like one pick from the end, so this is just everyone kind of rushing through it. Just because the fact that if there isn't a draft, it actually screws up the stats for their stat puller on NGS. We can't just like grab one. Cat Peach, how are you? Good to see you, friend. I hope all is going well. I look forward to our D&D session on Saturday. I'm very, very excited about it. Actually, very sad that I have to miss the one on the 25th, but I'll probably end up watching the VOD when I fly home or something like that. Either way, good to see you, friend. I hope all is going well, and thank you also for the help on my plant, because I was very worried about that one dead leaf. Legitimately, I was actually like a little worried. I was like, do I need to do something with this plant? Because it's just like leaves are dying here and there, but if it's just a winter thing, I'll trust it. But here we are. This is our draft, as we said beforehand. Let's go ahead and pull it on back to Bandit and I, as he is just full spread pooped. Stats are without a doubt the most important thing in NGS. Fun? No. All stats. That's true. It's all about the stats. I'll be honest, I'm too dumb and I never use stats because, as I said, I'm too dumb. I just purely it's my casts are 1 foot on a banana peel and 1 foot like properly actually running a stream. I think that's a good way to kind of sum up my stream. Just call me Tater Tot. This is good. It's good to see you. Sorry, I have not been around. Work has been crazy. No, you do not have to apologize whatsoever. Monster has a yellow, yeah. Your monster, yeah, you're saying your monster has a yellow leaf as well. I was like, please don't die. You're one of my favorite plants. Either way, let's get into our game. I'm sure you're all itching to find out what happens in game number 2 of our first best of 3 series of the evening. Illidancing Queens on the left-hand side, Born to Shine going to be on the Rhaegar, Furry Popsicle going to be on the Murden, Sestrin going to be on the Sonya. We got the Yotaru on the Vala, and Hooked on Phoenix. I was gonna say Hadouken Phoenix. Hooked on Phoenix is going to be on the Tassadar. On the right-hand side, we got the members of Wood League. Up 1 in our, first best of 3 series of the evening. We got Cyan on the Chen. Hopefully they go Wandering Keg. Amusio, I think, is going to be on the Lucio. Emtino is going to be on the Mal'Ganis, Barcode on the Raynor, and Cavalier on the Kael'thas. Let's see what we get here for our first engagement in this mid lane. A little bit of poke back and forth, but no one going to be getting picked off just yet. Muradin did go into the third wind at level 3, or oh my god, at level 1. Third wind, level 3, sure. But it's just going to be some more self-sustain. Even though they've got a Tassadar and a Rhaegar, they still want more sustain. Sonya went into block, but it's only going to be personal. It's not going to be like ETCs where it actually spreads to the friendly members when they use basic abilities, if I'm not mistaken. Kael'thas is going into the Mana Addict at level 1, which is pretty standard for them. Lucio going to be going into the Party Mix, which I feel like I see the majority of the time. I'm sure Ektar would have some words in chat if they were here to say so. Yeah. Just call me Tater Tot. Exactly. Is there a vote going? I gotta show love for WL. I don't have any votes or anything like that. I could make a poll in chat, but it only lasts 3 minutes. I wish I could extend it longer than that, but you can only make the polls for 3 minutes. Maybe I'll have to find a bot to do it or something like that, and we'll have to figure something else. That way, maybe people can vote during the game, and we can kind of check the stat midway through. Because, as chat was saying, in NGS, it's not about the games. It's not about what's happening on screen. It's about the stats. Ta, how's it going, bud? Thanks for coming by. Look at all these goatees in chat. Look at all those little goatees. There's little mustaches as well. There's the big old beards. God, I love it. The bit icons that Kagiri made, they're so very good. But either way, continued rotations coming out between mid and bottom. Currently have our solo laners still brawling out in top lane between the Sonya and the Chen. I'm trying to click on you so I can find out if I have the vision set up correctly. There we go. And this is neither one of them playing it too aggressive. And who can blame them? The other thing to note, too, is going to be Frozen Punisher in the bottom lane coming up first in here, as we will get the announcement in about 20 seconds. Phase Shift going to be used from Hooked on Phoenix, as Born to Shine is going to grab this camp down here. But they see the enemy team starting to rotate down. They will see that there's one of the Impalers already picked off, but unfortunately, I don't think they're going to be able to make rotations down onto this quick enough. They could look for a fight as they are exiting the camp, but realistically, they'll kind of take the safe rotation to the right-hand side. They'll be able to clear this out. Meanwhile, we do have our first shrine activating in the bottom lane, as noted before. Let's find someone without some questing talent right there, as Yotaro is going to be able to sidestep the gravity lapse from Cavalier, and this is just going to be clear. Neither team looking for the Bruiser camp on either side, so not going to be able to have any sort of pressure with that in the top lane. And actually, realistically, with a bottom lane Punisher coming up, that is the best time to have the Shaman camp pushing up through the top lane, because it's just such a long rotation, so you either have to delay them out of leaving top lane, which is actually what Sonya's kind of doing here a little bit. Cyan is doing their best just to force them back, but realistically, in the brawl right now, Sonya's kind of holding this over, as I'm saying all this, and she's taking a decent amount of damage, but there's going to be the stagger out from the Chen. Meanwhile, over here on our first Frozen Punisher, we are going to be seeing both the teams working their way through this. Tassadar has some decent poke onto this, actually already nearing the 500 stacks onto the Psystorm, or Psy Infusion at level 1. And, ooh, this Mal'Ganis is trying to find a Night Rush, only gets onto 1 with that. They're going to have to cycle back to the friendly team. Cyan is going to be able to kick in onto Born to Shine, who's getting very low, has to pop the self-healing, get some shielding from the Tassadar, Dwarf Toss from the Muradin up above just to get themselves further away. But it's fairly close when it comes to the Skeletal Defenders. Sestrin is going to be charged in on by this Mal'Ganis. Not going to be, oh, whoa, that's a very aggressive Dwarf Toss into all this. That's going to be asleep immediately onto the Muradin, but they end up getting, no, Mal'Ganis is able to get out of there. The boostio from Lucio is way too good. Cyan is trying to find their way out as well, and it looks like this first Punisher will be going over in favor to the members of... I thought I had to pause there for a second. I thought I'd say the other team name, but it's actually going to be the members of Illidancing Queens, as this is Barcode getting picked off by them as well. Meanwhile, in bottom lane, Frozen Punisher was picked up, and it will be able to actually get a double stun right there. Kaleo, how's it going, bud? Thanks for coming by. Gotta throw the butts into the mix. Thank you. Buttsbot's actually has been attempting its best, but it's as I said, it's attempting its best. Fury Popsicle looking, oh my god, that's gonna be a huge jump. Wow. Not what I was expecting to come out of that engagement right there. I didn't think that Punisher was going to be able to leap over that far and get the stun onto Lucio. Meanwhile, in top lane, we are going to be seeing this Chen going back into Sonya. Psy Infusion from Tassadar, only 19 stacks from being finished out, at least the first portion of the reward. After that, you do get the increased damage when you get to the 1,000 stacks. I'm always curious as to why it doesn't actually stack out to 1,000. I wonder if it's maybe just the number icon doesn't fit properly with 1,000 or something. Because it's, or I don't know, it's one of those things that like, well, the number's still there. It's just that little yellow bar around it, you know, you can see with like Kael'thas. It's just, I don't know, little things right there. I always see that and I'm just like, why isn't it just 1,000 for the total completion? Either way. Because I don't think you get 2 rewards. It's not like you get the quest and yeah. Maybe, no. I was trying to think, I was like, maybe you only get them 1 mana at the 500 mark, but I think it still overstacks. Hold on. I'm not 100% sure on that. I've had better days, but I'm okay. I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad you're here hanging out. It's good to see you, bud. I hope tomorrow's a better day. Lucio, no. I mean, making me sweat over here. Goodness. I gotta say, this is some strong momentum coming out from the members of Illidancing Queens to start out our game number 2 here. Like they charged into that first objective phase real strong. We also have an opportunity here to look at some of the other numbers, so we'll go ahead and do that right now because we have looked at the talents for quite some time. We can see the heroics up here. Sonya accidentally took the wrong talent, accidentally taking Wrath of Berserker instead of taking Leap. See, now here's the thing: if you had Leap, you probably would have killed the Chen. I was hoping that I wouldn't have to eat my words on that one, but yeah, I'll go ahead and eat my words. Unfortunately, yeah, the Chen is going to get picked off right there in top lane. If they had Wandering Keg, Stormworth and Fire, of course, because that's just going to mitigate stagger damage. That would have actually kept them alive there, rather than Wandering Keg would have just disrupted everything and probably would have screwed up all the future team fights. But it's always fun that we can dream for Wandering Keg. It would have also been great if the Sonya went into Leap and then went into Crater at 20, and then we just actually had Washing Machine by accident from both sides. Arcane Punisher for top lane. We'll stop memeing here, as both teams are going to be with their heroics, but we have a solid level lead in favor for the members of Illidancing Queens. Wood League are just looking to close that gap, as they did lose the first, I'd say, 2 to 3 fights of this game. I'd say the one major fight, and then the push through bottom lane is just, it was constantly them not able to get a footing and not able to just kind of bounce back. But we'll see if that'll be the case here. Chen rotating up from bottom lane. We are going to be having Sestrin start this out, and Sonya, of all people, on a Shrine, especially with a Rhaegar too. That's a lot of good clear for them. They seem to be wanting to play around this Shrine clear-wise, because of the fact that you got the Tassar, you got the Volley, you've got the Sonya, you've got the Rhaegar. There's so much AoE ability just to be able to clear things out, but this can be the Hyperion coming out from the Rainer a little bit earlier. There's going to be a lot of members spreading that Chain Bomb around as well. Pyroblast is still up and available for the Kael'thas if they can find someone just below, I don't know, what is it, like 1,700 health? Well, it's 1,300 right now for the damage out of that one. Chen died because he committed a horrible Sudoku. Oh, that's going to be the Gravity Blast connecting onto one. Cyan in the backline is looking to pressure Yotaro, who ends up getting the Ancestral Healing in time. The Storm, Earth, and Fire actually gets canceled out. You're seeing it on a 10-second cooldown. They need some healing. They tried to play that a little too cheeky, and it really went backwards for them. So this is going to be Lucio amping it up, and it's still 5 members in favor for the members of Illidancing Queens, holding over this top lane Shrine. Ooh, Muradin going to be able to put the pressure on, but this will be Arcane Punisher picked up in favor for the members of Illidancing Queens. Chen going to be back up for the members of Wood League in just a second. I would expect them to actually rotate to bottom, if anything. Actually, Mal'Ganis is going to be going down there. They're forfeiting Fort in top lane. Okay. They're going to forfeit that. The enemy team is going to be hitting 13 talent here in just a second, so they need to close that experience gap. Ooh, this is going to be a bit of a difficult defense, I'm not going to lie. Chen can't be killed, he chooses to stop living. Exactly. Well, tomorrow I'm taking a rest day from the gym, so I guess that depends on how you look at it. There you go. Rest days are always good. Just play a bunch of Civ or whatever. Just play a bunch of easy games and just burrito yourself in blankets. Cavalier is going to be trying to make their way out of here, as they actually don't even have the Arcane Barrier yet. That's going to be a sleep going on to so many members, but they're not able to capitalize because there's just so many low members. Punisher going to be jumping backwards. Carrion Swarm going to be coming out as well. Looks like they're going to force back the enemy team. Avatar Form going to be popped by the Merlin as well, and they save their keep for top lane. So no constant catapult pressure coming out against them, as the Kael'thas will finish out the Arcane Barrier right there, so at least they've got... What is the Arcane Barrier currently sitting at for Kael'thas? A 910 shielding coming in for for them right there, as this is going to be, let's actually jump onto their vision for the blue team, see what they're seeing. Cavalier trying to make this rotation, but the enemy team is going to be coming in through the corridor as well. Raid of Vengeance out from the Vala, only slows one. There's a Night Rush onto this Sonya, who's just trying to jump onto the camp. Chen going to be kicking on in with the Storm Within Fire. Hooked on Phoenix is going to be just rotating back out, as well as Yotaru gets hit with the Ancestor Healing. Pyroblast going to be chasing Fury Popsicles. They Dwarf Toss away. They actually should have turned around because of the fact that they had the shielding, but the if they actually ate that with the shielding, they might have lived. I don't know how much like overkill that was, but I feel like they might have lived if they actually turned around and ate it with the shielding and then let the third wind proc afterwards. They also, you know, they have this third wind here. So they have that extra, you know, threshold for their health to come back to them. They need to manage top lane as well on the side of Wood League. Possibly chip away at my video. Nice, Kaleo. That's actually a good idea. On a lot of the Saturdays that I have, because I'm still editing BlizzCon content, like I'll play a game for like 2-3 hours and then I'll edit for an hour. And then I'll play a game for 2-3 hours and I'll edit for an hour. It's actually, on my like lazy days, that's actually a really, really good way to approach it. And so, if you are trying to chip away, in my opinion, that's Civ, easy games. I'm the only one who subject myself to torture of Civ. I love Civilization. Like, that's a casual game I'll play with my friend, but we put it on the easiest mode when we play against AI, so there's going to be that. So let me also be real with all of you at the same time too. Shielded armor feels bad. Barcode? Barcode's gonna get picked off in the bottom lane. Well, we are gonna be having the top lane Shaman grabbed. Mortar Punisher will be popping up in bottom lane. If they are actually able to grab this is going to be a really, really devastating Punisher in favor for the members of Illidancing Queens. That's what you do, actually? Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So, Raynor back in 13. We are going to be having our Mortar Punisher popping up in bottom lane. I didn't look at the timers, but I think we're about like a minute or so off. They're coming into top lane right now just to force back the Shaman camp. I'm looking at camp timers right now just to see if we have anything that's up and available soon. This is the only camp that's kind of close right now. Bottom lane will be managed as well. But they're not going to have 16s. This is the rough spot about this entire engagement, I think. Except not so much today because I was feeling sad. No, it's all right. Do what makes you happy. That's what I try and do in life. Give more Blizz content? Okay. I honest to God have a video that's like not too far off from being released. The only reason it hasn't been released yet is because I got a suggestion and I thought it was very good, so I agreed with it, and I'm gonna work on it this weekend. I'll probably end up working on it Sunday. Alright, 16 talent here is just about to trickle in, so they're going to take this fight very early, though. This is Hyperion coming out as well. That's going to be Storm Within Fire procced early as well. Ancestor Healing connected onto one, but Vala gets blown up during all this. Break It Down will be used by the Lucio as they're trying to get out of this entire engagement. Sonya going to be spinning. And not so much trying to get out of it as I think they were just trying to unclump from this entire area here, because there's so many members trying to dive onto Sonya and Muradin, and those are heroes that, you know, if you dive onto them, Thunderclap from Muradin's going to be benefiting them quite a bit, especially with the healing static coming out at level 13, and they have the Thunder Burn as well, so you get that second explosion, so you just have more self-sustain coming out from that Muradin, and then you have the Sonya able to then constantly spin to win and just heal through that as well. She did go into, I think, Life Funnel, and somehow, some way, the members of Illidancing Queens, because I wasn't watching the Skeletal Defender count, ended up getting the third Punisher of the game. Deleted, holy smokes. That Vala even got the Ancestor Healing too. You can see it's on cooldown. I saw the big splash of green come out, but I was just like, holy crap, really? Ooh, Amusio, this is a bit of a risky spot here. Okay, Mal'Ganis is the one who's hit by it. That's not as bad. This is a lot of... They actually have to pop, carry, and swarm. That's a bit of a rough go. It's an 80-second cooldown. They also don't get the Punisher jump pulled over the keep front gates. That means that the enemy team will be sieging with the Punisher. There should be another jump coming up from the Punisher. I was just about to say, like, we're like very, very close to this. Lucio's going to have Break It Down in the next 5 seconds. We currently have Sonya popping Wrath of Berserker. There's going to be the Archon form from the Tassadar as well. Cavalier getting very low in this back lane. Needs to find some way to get the damage in. That's going to be the Chen trying to get the drink right there. They end up going down. Barcode taking quite a bit of damage as well. Break It Down from the Lucio. The Punisher will turn around and go back for the keep, but it looks like that will be keep in bottom lane going down in favor for the members of Illidancing Queens, as Wood League is very much on the back foot here, trying to chase in onto Fury Popsicle, but was this a mistake? They turn around, Barcode's the first one to go down, Hyperion coming out as well, that's going to wake up everyone from the Night Rush. That is the Ancestral Healing coming out as well. Born to Shine backs off, making sure they're not going to be spreading the Chain Bomb to the friendly members, and they also have this Murden constantly diving on this enemy team. They actually step up to core, and they're looking to potentially end here. Tassadar going to tickle the core with that beam right there. Sonya spinning to win. Gonna throw down the Psy Storms as well just to poke at this, but their core damage is not the best in the world. They've got Vala, which is good. This is actually a lot of damage onto Born to Shine as Chen is kicking out into the back lane. It's going to be Mal'Ganis getting picked off, but they end up trading out the Rhaegar for that one. Core at 79 health. Murden should be fine. No, turn around and take... Because they had the Tassadar shield. I know that they're trying to back off there, but they need to eat that damage as quickly as possible so that way they can get the third win trait to proc immediately. But I gotta say, they turn it around a bit there. They close a bit of the gap in the experience. It still is about a level lead for the members of Illidancing Queens, but I'm not counting the members of Wood League out just yet. Let's go ahead and cycle through the other numbers once again as we have 20 talent tier approaching very soon. But so far, it's been a great back and forth. We have not had a single mid lane Punisher, I feel. I feel like we've had bottom, top, bottom, and now we're on top again, because this is the 4th Punisher, right? I swear I said Trickle Protector. Anyways, bottom lane's going to be managed by Chen while I read Twitch chat. Vala out here like a balloon. Good seeing here when I'm set, I just happened to shoot myself and made me feel a lot better. I'm good. I'm glad, Kaleo. That's really, really good to be able to do, just to be able to kind of laugh off some of those moments. Go Dancing Queens. Zell's won in that 3rd game. No peels for Rhaegar. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to use this time to chug tea as well. All right, we do have our top lane Shaman's going to be pushing on in through here. We have 20 talents here just rounding the corner in favor for the members of Illidancing Queens, and the members of Wood League are going to be doing their best to defend their keeping top lane. Currently has 1,878 health. I'm just trying to look at the range. I'm looking at the stats, but I keep getting rid of them too. All right. Kael'thas going to be trying to push this back. I think they're going to be able to mitigate this damage, but the other thing to note too is they have this Impaler camp in mid lane, so they don't want to be able to just give over a free fort, because that'll also give some passive experience gain, as well as the fact that you have the periodic catapult pressure coming in that lane. I think Vala of Mine is shown right there in mid, so now they might play this. Oh, look at Fury Popsicle. They're looking to collapse onto this. Chen going to be drinking. Fury Popsicle looking for the flank. Going to be trying to dive onto Kael'thas, it looks like. That's going to be a lot of damage onto them initially. Break it down is up and available for Lucy if necessary. They actually break it down right there. They also get the shielding from I actually don't know who they got the shielding from right there. That's going to be... Oh no, they popped the Arcane Barrier. That's what it was. I was like, where did that shield come from? Kael'thas is the first one to go down, and they're not able to just sustain the damage being thrown onto them. Seems like they're going to chase him further. Mal'Ganis going to pop the Carrion Swarm as the enemy team is chasing him with that 20 talent tier advantage. Kael'thas down for the next 50 seconds. Yeah, the Kael'thas popped the Mana Addict, and I was just like, oh, they got shielding from Tassadar. I was like, that's on the opposing side. How did they do that? Meanwhile, as I noted, this is going to be mid lane fort going down during all this, so... I think they're all in it to try and end off of this right now. They're trying to take us to a game number 3. Third game makes it more interesting and helps secure my first place in the standings. Hey, you know what? At least you know who you're cheering for, so that way you can get the best stats. I mean, as we were joking in chat earlier, excuse me, NGS, it's all about the stats. So close, 20. Why force the fight? I don't know. Hot's throwaway. I really don't know why. I maybe just feeling antsy. Honest to God, I don't know. But we have Frozen Punisher pushing up through top lane. Tassadar does have the Twilight Archon form. That's why you see that up and available still. This is actually a juke. This is something I learned in Tespa. This counter does not actually count correctly. The Tassadar cooldown does not trigger until the actual Archon form completely goes away. So you'll see this cooldown, but it actually doesn't mean they can lose Archon then gain it again. Because that was a mistake I made in Tespa, and J-How was just like, Bahama, come on now. Mal'Ganis tried to use Carrion Swarm right there. Actually, no, they're going to be able to pop it off right there. I thought I saw them go for the spin, but it might have been the Necrotic Embrace. That's Sonya popping as much as she can, as well as the Ancestral Healing coming out from the Rhaegar to keep them alive. That's going to be Storm Shield coming out from one player right there, as the Punisher is being pulled away from the core. This is a lot of damage onto the Mal'Ganis, who's trying to find their way into the Hall of Storms. Punisher now targeting onto the core as it has 62% health. This is the Kael'thas also... Oh my god, Kael'thas also is trying to just burn through this enemy team, but they themselves are trying to burn through the core as this is the Night Rush into the Hall of Storms. Punisher going to be looking to clear the minion waves. The core health is starting to fall a little too rapidly. Are they going to be able to defend against this? The Punisher's still very, very healthy, I would say, with 20-some%. The enemy team as well, and it looks like we have ourselves a game number 3. GG. Well played. Tentori, thank you so much for the 3 months of support, my friend. Let me resend your alert so it does pop up properly. I also want to message the Division D teams that I will be late so they can go without me, or they can wait themselves if they would like. Psystorm versus at the baddest dudes. Okay, sorry, I'm just letting them know that they don't need to wait on me. Like, if they would like to start, if they got time, if they got stuff they gotta do, I understand. But we'll see. Show feet. What's up, Tilted Sister? I mean, if you watch the beginning, I walk by the camera. I'll have to get up and get a glass of water at some point. Good to see you, bud. Nexus Gaming Stats. Yes, yes, that's what NGS stands for, Cat Peach, exactly. Looks like Psystorm and Baddest Dudes have both said that they're okay with waiting, so we're just gonna go ahead and find out what they want to do here for our next map, and we'll go ahead and get into it. The cartoon bandit is so creepy with the wobbling eyes and human lips. Yeah, I know. So the guy who made my follow alert, my artist friend Brandon, who made this the follow alert that I just resent right there. So I told him what I wanted this one to be. I was like, hey, I want to come in, I want to wave, I want like Bandit with like a little like, you know, squeaky toy, all that good stuff. And he was like, cool, 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 blah, blah, blah. And then I was like talking to him and I was like, I have this idea for a sub, you know, animation. And I told him all about it. He's like, that's cool, but do you trust me? And I was like, well, of course I do. And that is what he sent back to me. I laughed my head off, and I absolutely adore it. And it will probably be our sub forever. I was actually going to be changing things up, and I was like, maybe I make that like the gift sub or something like that. But then we accidentally made the gift sub at BlizzCon because Double Dam was taking a video for Drink, and I thought she was taking a photo, and I tried to jump in there. Sorry, I'm trying to choose the map. That's Full Sky Foundry. That's not the right map. We were already there. Nexus Gaming Butts. Nexus Gaming S Butts. Sputs. The S is silent. All right, let's make me referee. Let's get that. Let's get that. Let's get both of these teams in here because I know who's on what side. And I have no problem swapping people around. When teams use the exact same portrait, it makes my life so insanely easy. I hope you all understand this. Like if you're a team that gets casted ever, if you're ever a team that gets casted, have the same portraits. It makes life for the caster a bajillion times easier. Bearby hitting the VOD. But yeah, there you go. There's the little story about our emote. Do you trust me? I didn't until I asked that. No, I've known Brandon like literally my entire life. We grew up next door to each other, so we're pretty good friends. And he went to university for art. He actually went to university for animation, and then I went to university actually kind of down the road-ish from his for architecture. But then he left the state before I was like fully in, like 21 and stuff like that. So partying wasn't going out to bars and stuff. We couldn't do that till he visited. But either way, ramblings aside. Thank you all for being here. Thanks for helping us push towards Switch Partner. I really appreciate all of you. And the story went to hell with just some ADD. Exactly. Oh, yeah. I'm preparing my team for next season. Show Feet are going to take over NGS. Okay. Are you going to be like Phoenix Rising Color? Like there's Phoenix Rising Ruby, Onyx, Pearl, Jade, Sapphire. Like there's so many Phoenix Rising teams. Cal Poly? You look like a SLO dude. What? Bahamut, I apologize for my team refusing to do portraits synergy on them. That was sweet. No, you're fine. You're fine. I'm just saying that it makes my life easier. I wasn't paying attention, but you did say you went to school in Michigan. Yeah, I went to school in Detroit. I went to University of Detroit Mercy, and my friend went to College for Creative Studies, which is CCS. GG's teams are. Give him a Twitch link. Take over as in do well or like a coup. Out with any. Out with the evil mongoose? Cal Poly SLO. I don't know what SLO is. Southern Lower Observation? San Lupe. I don't know. What? I don't even know what that is. San Luis Apis. I can't. I won't say that word because I think I'm gonna say P instead. Not yet. One member's using the bathroom. Okay. Yeah. I live in Indiana, not far. Oh, nice. I've done work in Indiana. Yeah. Boo. I'm a Wright State grad. What is?
Nice work, Bone Daddy.
Thank you, Selexia. Thank you, Bone Daddy, for the 69 bits. Also, look at that little beard that Selexia has. Look at that. Oh God, I love it. The double beards are perfect. I'm happy about it. I'm so happy about it. Oh, hey, you're local to me. I grew up in Plymouth and went to UMich. Oh, nice. I mean, I'm not local there anymore. I moved to California now. I lived in Michigan for like 26 years, I think. I moved in 2007. 17, excuse me. 2007, I was still in high school. Yeah. Plymouth isn't far though. Like I lived in Royal Oak. That should be easy for you, Pet Wolves. I lived in Royal Oak and I went to and I worked in Southfield and Warren. Go Buckeyes, Ohio. You know what's the most wild thing to me is the pointless like fight that people have because of university sports that like, so for example, University of Detroit Mercy hasn't had a football team for ages. When I actually first went there, they had a football t-shirt that you could buy and it said undefeated since the year that they stopped doing the football. And so it's weird because like I would come out here and I didn't have that whole big grandeur of football like at University of Michigan or Michigan State or Ohio or all that rivalry stuff. So when I would come out here, like there's one time I was like riding up the mountain, some guy was just like, oh, I'm from Ohio. And I was like, oh, I'm from Michigan. Like I'm visiting, I'm gonna move out here one day. He's like, oh, we can't be friends because you're from Michigan. And I was just like, wait, seriously? Like legitimately you don't want to be my friend because we live in different states and because of college football. And he's like, yeah. I was like, that is the dumbest thing. Sorry, but that is so dumb. Wait, you can see my beard right now? Yeah, well, oh, it went away. It went away after you got the bit leader badge. It would before, like when you initially did the 69 bits, it was there, but now that you have the bit badge, it's gone, which is kind of annoying. Because Michigan people stink. I mean, I know I smell. I know where that is. Yeah, there you go. I have a couple friends who live in Royal Oak. Yeah, it's wild there right now because they're building up their downtown. Like I've done a bunch of jobs for them. It's not pointless. Why is it not pointless? My buddy went to UC, so I think it's University of California, San Diego, if I'm not mistaken, and we fight over sports, and we have no fight over sports there. I mean, like, I get it. Like, I get people being passionate about their sport and their college and all of that, but I don't think it should extend to the point of actually like whether or not you make friends with people. The reason I get so annoyed by this is because I grew up like our family is Romanian. My mom's on her side, she's Hungarian. My dad's Romanian, so I'm kind of split in the middle. I worked at a summer camp where 2 counselors from Hungary wouldn't talk to me because our family's from Romania and Hungarians don't like Romanians. That's 1000% it. They didn't talk to me the entire summer because of where our family's from. They didn't know me at all. It's just purely based on that kind of mentality. So it's always bothered me because I grew up around a lot of that. So it's just annoying and I don't get it. Okay. I hope you're enjoying my rambles about my opinion on all this crap, but we are here. We are ready to go. Let's go ahead and get on into game number 3 of our first of 2 best of 3 series. We are going to be heading to Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm as your wonderful caster who's so good at what he does. Remember to change the scores. We do have the members of Illidancing Queens on the left-hand side up 1, as well as the members of Wood League on the right up 1 as well. This is a Division C East matchup, and we find ourselves here on Alterac Pass. Let's go ahead and find out how we got to Alterac Pass itself. Ready? We're going to do this all in one big breath. The home team this evening is going to be Illidancing Queens. They won the coin flip, opting for first pick priority, banning out Battlefield of Eternity and Tomb of the Spider Queen. Sky Temple and Braxis Holdout were banned out by the members of Wood League. First map was chosen by the members of Wood League, going to Volskaya Foundry. They lost that map, opting for map pick priority on the side, they won that map, opting for map pick priority on the side of Illidancing Queens. For game number 2, they chose to take us to Infernal Shrines. As they won that one, the members of Wood League decided for map pick priority in game number 3, and they have chosen to take us to Alterac Pass. I tried to do it in one breath, and then I started giggling at my own joke, and then I decided not to do it. All right, we are here. We're on Alterac Pass. We've got a Jaina ban on the left-hand side. We got Ariel on the right, and it looks like... Which team is going to be forcing the Deathwing ban? Oh, so they're going to try and force the enemy team to ban Deathwing. I can't blame them. So they're going to ban out the Junkrat, who's actually quite a nuisance on this map because of the sustained damage and poke he has. There's the Deathwing ban. But things like Hanzo are really impactful. Excuse me. Hanzo's really, really strong on a map like this because of his poke potential. Tyrande, which surprisingly enough has fallen like literally off the edge of a cliff. I feel like I've seen more Lili than Tyrande in the past month. But Tyranda's actually insanely strong on a map like this. You have the Sentinel for Interrupt, you've got the Lunar Flare as well. You can go to Lunar Blaze, which you get the 30% range increase, not baseline, but you get that immediately. And then you also have the damage increase as you are stacking that up. So you do have so much value from that Tyrande. And then you also have the Huntress Mark as well. I'm surprised by the lack of the Tyrande play I see, but at the same time, there's things like Anduin, who's a lot easier, Rhaegar's a lot easier, Stukov, I would say, is actually a little bit easier as well. Like, I personally would rather play a Stukov than a Tyrande, but that's also because of my own skill set, and I'm just kind of basing it off of that. But there, we do have a Li Ming Mal'Ganis on the right-hand side, still prioritizing that Mal'Ganis quite a bit on the side of Wood League, but Johanna, Tassadar, and Valo. So once again, as I was saying, this Tassadar signifies that they are going to be going into double support. Realistically, I would actually ban out the Rhaegar. That Rhaegar made waves in the last game, and I can't blame them if they would get rid of that. The Ancestor Healings were very on point. There was only like one that realistically didn't save the target, and so banning that out right there, 100% you ban that out. On the opposing side, I'm trying to remember what they were playing off the top of my head, and it's like, what were they healing with the... Oh, Lucio, actually. Wasn't it Lucio? Yeah, it was Break It Down from Lucio constantly. That could be something they ban out if they don't want to deal with that AoE healing. What else could they be going for here, ban-wise? I think it's just banning out some sort of healer they don't want to deal with, or they ban out a Greymane because that would pair with the Li Ming for the dive potential. And also just really impacts her setup. But they'll go ahead and get rid of the Decker Cane from game number 1 on Volskaya Foundry, just respecting that Decker Cane to get them right out of there. Yes, Bean. Thank you for the Probius copy pasta. My whole family is University of Michigan fans because of my granddad coached football for them, and one of my aunts married a Buckeye. So of course it's like, yeah, kids' loyalties are divided. That's so weird. Like, because of sports, that is just like, no, like. Oh, Selexia, you meant your beard IRL. Did someone accidentally put Nair in your shampoo? Someone trying to prank you? All right. Rexxar and Raynor on the right-hand side to be picked up, so Rexxar will be holding over the solo lane. We actually saw a really good Rexxar play on the Volskaya Foundry game as well. Last 2 picks coming out. They need some extra damage and they need a solo lane into Rexxar. They could actually look for a Malthael. I'm not sold on this, I'll be honest, team. And the only reason I'm saying this is just due to the fact that Ragnaros and Rexxar had a matchup in game number 1 of Volskaya, and that Rexxar pushed Ragnaros back quite often. They didn't dominate the lane or anything like that, but still, just being forced back, I feel like you'd want to try and play like an Imperius, a Yrel, a Malthael, a Leoric. Like, I feel like there's so many options for them, but the members of Wood League will round out their draft with an Anduin, and I think that'll work out pretty well for them. Mal'Ganis actually can be hit with the Light Bomb. Li Ming could literally be the Light Bomb target as well. Typically, you don't want her in the fray of things, but if people start to dive onto her, like if Lucio tries to speed boostio it up, and everyone's trying to just dive and collapse onto Li Ming, she can have that light bomb to buy her a couple seconds and maybe use the blink to either initiate, or you get the light bomb, then you blink afterwards while people are stunned just to get away from all of them. But either way, I think the drafts on both sides are very, very well rounded, and we're going to be in for a very good game number 3 in our first of 2 best of 3 series. Thank you all once again for hanging out, and if you haven't followed already, please go ahead and do so, because, well, you can know when we go live, you can make sure you keep up with stream, and it makes Bandit happy, let's be honest here. Want to buy Lily and Uther? Yeah, Lava Wave experience and clear is broken. I don't know, like, I'm not 100% on this Ragnaros, I'll be honest. But we'll see here. We'll see what ends up happening in the end, because we're ready to go in game number 3. On the left-hand side, we got the members of Illidancing Queens. Sestrin going to be on the Ragnaros, Born to Shine on the Lucio. Yutaro going to be on the Vala, Hooked on Phoenix. Hadouken Phoenix. There we go. Messed it up once. Is going to be on the Tassadar, and Fury Popsicle will be on the Joanna. On the right-hand side, we got the members of Wood League. We're going to be seeing Cyan on the Rexar. Emtino, sorry, I always have to like take a second to read that one. Emtino is going to be on the Mal'Ganis, Barcode on the Raynor, Cavalier will be on the Li Ming, and Amusio, I believe, is going to be on the Star Crab. Well, they won't be the Star Crab. They're going to be Anduin on the Star Crab. There we go. Saying words is a little difficult this evening, apparently. But we'll start out in our mid lane. Ragnaros already in the top lane, just sitting up in the bush. They have no vision of that currently. Let's actually jump over to like Li Ming or someone, and we'll jump onto their vision just to show what this initial matchup is going to be looking like, and just also what they can see. Raynor's going to be rotating to bottom lane. Looks like Rexar and Misha are going to be rotating to top. The Ragnaros still didn't show, but they will be able to see them as they rotate in this top lane right here. Initially going to get dove upon by that Misha, and they're going to be forced back by their front gate. And this is probably where Sestrin's going to be playing a lot of this lane, unless they get some rotations out from the Vala or something like that to potentially gank the Rexar when they step up. But the big thing is trying to bait the Rexar to step up very far in lane. You can already see they're just using that Misha Bear to do all the work for them. Also, they can get a potential dive onto Sestrin with it. They were trying to bait it out right there. I think they were trying to bait out the Misha charge because they know that that bear has to be in the bush. But it's just that idle threat that they're so not so worried about, but that they are worried about. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, they're going to go ahead and grab the siege camp, and this is actually really, really good timing coming out from them. You want to grab this immediately when it pops up on the map due to the fact that it's a 1 minute 30 cooldown. Once that goes through, you can potentially have that pop up right as the objective will be popping up at 3 minutes in the game. We also do have the objective in the lower half of the map for the start of this. I actually don't know if there's, I was just about to say, like, I don't know if there's any sort of major advantage to top or bottom. I feel like on the blue side, it's a little bit more easy to defend bottom because there's a lot more entry points, whereas top is a little bit more, there's a couple more choke points. But it works kind of that way on both sides because it is, you know, it's all mirrored and everything. So I'd say at least for our blue team, this first one's going to be a little bit easier to defend, but it's going to be a little bit harder maybe to actually get the channel. Oh my god, War, thank you so much for the 100 bits. I will go ahead and resend your alert when we get out of this game. Thank you so much. Good luck with the Twitch partner. I appreciate it, friend. We're hopefully going to be able to hit that mark soon. Hopefully. I think we actually can apply again, but I need to get my stats up a little bit further. Graysville, thank you for the raid. I hope your Storm League went well, my friend. Saw there were some Azmodan games in there. Maybe not on your team, but I definitely saw. I was looking at the drafts and I was like, oh, that enemy team's got Azmodan. Ooh, that might be a rough go right there. But I hope they were good. And thank you so much, Graysville, for the raid. We have our first objective popping up here in the bottom portion of the map, and this is going to be first one, meaning it's going to be for 30 seconds, the total channel time you'll need. It goes up by 10 seconds to a maximum of 50, so our second will be 40 seconds and third one will be 50 seconds. Now Barcode is trying to work their way into the bushes, that way they can avoid the auto attacks, but that was a great oracle being used by Tassadar because it will give you the vision in the bush. They can go ahead and continue to auto attack into them. They actually play around said vision, and they're going to go ahead and dive onto Tassadar, who pops the dimensional shift, going to be able to back out right there, as this is going to be 30 seconds channel time up and available for both sides. Who is able to grab the first objective is going to be the big outlier for me. But we also do have a siege camp on the left-hand side, and the siege camp on the right-hand side going to be up and available, so you already see them rotating over here, and they're going to go ahead and grab that to be able to have some more mid lane pressure. Raynor going to be doing the exact same thing in top. Going to be able to get this, but it's going to take a little bit of time. Also, I don't think they're going to be able to do this on their own. Yeah, they're going to need Li Ming to come in here and help out and throw in a nice combo right there. But neither team going to be stepping up to the objective just yet as they're grabbing siege camps and getting their lanes set up. 7 talent tier was picked up by the members of Illidancing Queens. It looks like Ragnaros is just going to be in top lane just to clear one more wave as they step up for this objective. Super far forward? Yeah. That Reyna was very far forward in that bottom lane. So channel comes through from Born. Nope. Channel comes through from Born. Yotari going to be channeling in as well. Oracle going to be used by Hooked on Phoenix so they can at least see if Reyna tries to step up again. But Penetrating Round doesn't have that short of a cooldown as Rexar and Misha went to top lane to get a little more experience and they closed that 7 talent tier gap. We've only had 1 kill so far in our game number 3 as they are going to try and hold this over. The reason that they're also staying around this area and they're not just kind of backing off further is these jailers that they need to keep killing will be able to channel the objective and stop the channel, or it doesn't stop the channel, but you could overall stop it if they're left uncontested. The reason you see that bar going yellow is because one of the members of the red team are channeling, so they kept interrupting it, which buys a couple seconds here and there. So they stop it with 2.7 seconds left. Tacit are going to be coming down here to clear out one more wave. Mid lane's going to be managed as well from both teams, and now I think we reset and we prepare for a big old fight as Misha Bear jumps through the bush onto 1. Currently have the team split as that's going to be a great Night Rush coming out, locking down the Lucio who gets the wall ride to the opposing direction. Chastise doesn't connect from Musio as they go for the channel, going to get interrupted by Tacitar right there. Out of all the people too, Tacitar is probably one of the most annoying people to get poked at from these Psy Storms, but right there they're actually not going to be able to get they're not far enough into their kit to be able to get the double Psy Storm cast, so not going to be able to just have the nuisance that they're looking for. But it looks like Lucio will go for the channel. They're actually going to leave it to the jailer, which you're seeing right over there, so they can channel, but it doesn't contest the time, and that's a big factor because right now, I thought they actually didn't get that, and I thought the jailer was interrupted because that would have been that's a huge factor of it too. If you leave it to them and they get interrupted, then you've lost however long it takes for them to channel that right there, as Cestern's going to be trying to throw out one of the shifting meteors and not going to be able to find the kill onto Misha, but the leap of faith is not enough to save the friendly Mal'Ganis, and they end up going down. Misha Bear going to get picked off as well. Fury Popsicle playing real aggressive into this Reyna who puts the pepper onto them, but they end up walking away with 40-some health. They also get some shielding out from that Tacitar, going to cycle back, going to probably tap well and look to try and re-engage around this objective. Actually, they've got a siege camp up and available, and oh my god, Raynor's snuck down here, and they're able to get a little bit of the channel, but I think they'll be able to stop it with a couple seconds. Chastise was sidestepped as well. They have to leave that camp. That's a really good pull coming out from them. This is what I was talking about, how just delaying it out so they can't get the counter channel potentially. Born to Shine not able to get it in time. That's going to be first objective going over to the side of Wood League, as this is the Arcane Orb coming out. I thought they were going to be able to connect onto someone, but it's too short just yet. Not going to be able to get that extended range until I think level 13 with the Orbital Orb. I think that's the name of the talent. Or maybe it's, I don't know, is it Triumvirate? No, that's level 4. But I think it's Orbital or something like that, where it has the increased range on it as well. Which, I mean, if you're going orb build like she is, that's probably what we're going to be seeing, because you can poke from such a distance, and if you get that max range, you get the cooldown reduction, so you're just able to constantly throw those out, and if you get a reset, even better for your Li Ming player. But as I said, first objective is pushed into lanes. Lava Wave coming out from Ragnaros into top lane to try and force back the Misha Rexar duo, as they also took down the front gate. Mid lane has Vala already managing this. They're going to lose a little bit of the front gate, if not all of it, but bottom lane is going to have a light bomb coming out from Anduin that's going to be exploding under a few. That's also going to be Li Ming trying to get some combos, not able to connect onto anyone with this just yet. Hyperion coming out from the Rainier as well, as they're looking to try and take down this fort in bottom lane. Now this, very good chastise into the bush to find the Vala, who dumps the Rain of Vengeance out. Not going to be able to connect on anyone. There's another Leap of Faith, and this is Mal'Ganis in a bit of a rough spot, but pops the Carrion Swarm just in time. Going to be able to get some self-healing off of that one, as they're also finding themselves further away from the opposing side. Joanna chasing way too deep as the Misha Bear goes down. They're not going to be able to get the chase into that one, but Molten Core Form was used by the Ragnaros. They don't get the swing onto anyone, and it looks like they're going to be able to disengage with a kill under their belt and some damage onto some of these structures. That was a pretty good first objective phase. I didn't look at when the timers went away, but I think we're probably somewhere around the 10-minute mark for our next objective phase. During all of that, we're going to be looking for camps, as we can see on the left-hand side, maybe even a boss play, but right now I think the first thing is just the siege camp right there. It's called Arcane Orbit. Thank you. Thank you. Arcane Orbit. I knew like Orbital Orb sounded wrong, but I knew Orbit was in the name. Oh, my tea mug is sticking to my little hot plate. Turns out it's because Orb build. What's up, Lorelei?
More of our soldiers have been taken prisoner. Let's take them back.
All right. Objective's going to be here. Lucio and friends just going to be managing mid lane a little bit. The opposing side going to be doing the exact same thing. Whew. Oh, it was a minute early on our objective as well. I thought it was going to be closer to 10, but either way. Second one will be up and available in the next 9 seconds, and it is going to be a 40-second channel onto that. Ragnaros is going to pop the the lava wave through mid lane just to kind of burn through this no camp a little bit faster, also to mitigate the push pressure it's going to be able to supply. Raynor was trying to push in there a little bit, trying to find an angle, but they end up choosing to say, well, let's go ahead and grab objective and start getting that channel in our favor. Tassadar coming over here as well, going to be poking out with that Psy Storm. Psy Infusion sitting at 775 stacks, so not too far off from being able to finish that out. 225, I believe, is what they need to get that 1,000 mark for the 20% damage increase. Boars were unleashed from the Rexars. They're actually trying to get the stop onto this channel. There was a Rain of Vengeance out from the Vala as well. Tassadar going to pop the Archon form. Another Rain of Vengeance out from them. Light Bomb from Mal'Ganis also going to be using the Carrion Swarm. That was a really good duo, but Fury Popsicle so very low, trying to find a kill onto them. Not going to be able to, as the camp is going to be fully channeled. Oh, that was a really close Arcane Orb. You okay, bud? Sorry, Bandit had a weird stagger for a second, but I think it was just he literally scared himself as he was standing up. Either way, 13 talent tier is going to be picked up in a second, as Sestrin's going to be able to get back out of there. Unlike Space Booty, which never has too much orb. What's up, Rod Christie? Good to see you, friend. I hope you're having a wonderful night. Thank you for coming by. All right. So second objective up, coming in through all the lanes. Vala going to be managing bottom lane. Let's actually take a peek. We'll look at 13 talent tiers in a second, but then I want to take a peek at some of the other stats really quickly, because I haven't looked at the damage. I know the damage did come through. Also, we have a nullification out from the Tassadar as well. There was a pacify from an Alexstrasza last night onto a Deathwing, and it was hilarious to see the Deathwing model actually shrink in size to like... The Deathwing model was like the size of like maybe Asmodan, maybe a little bit smaller. So it was just kind of comical to see like Deathwing, this gigantic hero, be like itty bitty. Top lane does get cleared out, as this is going to be their quick rotation to mid. They should be able to get a fort with this. There was a fort that went down in bottom lane as well, if I'm not mistaken. So this is a fairly good objective phase for the members of Wood League. That's a light bomb from Fury Popsicle, but look at their health just get shredded right there as Joanna goes down. That's going to be Mal'Ganis getting traded out as well, as they're looking to be able to get the Razor Swipe out. Hyperion came out to try and zone the enemy team back. It seems like it's just going to be 1-for-1 trade. Objective in bottom lane will be going down fairly soon. Just curious what it's hitting for autos. 202, 203 in auto, but these towers are going to be able to shred right through that. So our next objective, I believe it's about a 2-minute counter, so we're going to be looking at 1345-ish for our next objective phase. Until then, it's going to be rotating once again. Looking for camps, looking to put pressure in lanes, and getting prepared for, I believe it's a bottom lane engagement. It should be down over here, yeah, because they were controlling it over here in this top left. Ragnaros manages out, or clears top lane. Glass Cannon for the Li Ming as well. What is her health pool at currently? Hold on. What's this Li Ming health pool at? 1,871. Was it clipped? I don't think so. The size of Asmodan? Itty bitty. It's itty bitty for a Deathwing, you know? It might have been clipped, Kaleo. I didn't look through my clips today. That's going to be a wonderful rotation to bottom lane. They only get the Misha, but still get a Misha kill. Are they considering the boss? Fury Popsicle is. Let's actually jump over to the vision for our red team really quickly. Brujay, how's it going, bud? Thanks for coming by. Sorry I missed your hello. There was a Blessed Shield that did come out just to start this out. This is going to be Cyan in a bit of a rough spot. Mal'Ganis is going to get the Light Bomb thrown onto them. That's going to be a break it down from the Lucio to buy some extra time here. Cavalier is actually going to be canceling the Disintegrate a little early right there, as they're going to try and pump some damage into this Vala, as the Misha Bear's back and going to get the charge onto a couple, but that's all that they get. And without 16 talent tier, they're going to need to back off, because the members of Illidancing Queens, I don't know how my brain was gonna mush that up some weird way. Illidancing Queens still have the 16 talent here, and they're not something to just scoff at. You should respect this right there. And I think they're gonna do exactly that, as Rainer's gonna be rotating into top lane. Mid lane's gonna be managed by the members of Illidancing Queens. And I think they should be able to rotate and get the majority of this first objective, or this third objective, for themselves, as they can see. I'd say they can see the majority of the enemy team in the top lane. It just went away. Oh, wait. They end up making this rotation down here, and Cavalar's gonna be the target. There's a blast wave thrown onto Fury Popsicle. They turn around and say, once again, let's get the Misha kill. It's still experience. It's still yielding them positive experience. Oops, wrong button. 2,911 to the 1,921 when it comes to experience. So roughly a solid 1,000 ahead just from the heroic kills, and that's yielding them quite a bit here. The minions are also going to make a pretty hefty amount of that, as well as the 6,000 deficit right there, and then about 2,000-ish from the passive experience gain from all the forts that have... Did I read that? Hold on, did I read that backwards? Yeah. All the forts. I read this backwards. I was like, wait a minute. They have no forts down. How is their passive experience gain higher? No, I read that stat backwards to you all. What hero has Pacify? Alexstrasza. I'm disappointed for myself for asking. Don't feel disappointed. Have you? How many times on this stream have I said the wrong talent or wrong thing? Don't you worry. Don't you fret. Don't you fear. I screw up all the time myself. All right. We have a pause currently. They're memeing, and I'm like, we have a team literally waiting on us to finish this, so we kind of have to get going. All right, let's get back into the cast. Alright, we're back in the game, we're here, we're in it. Lava Wave is definitely doing work, Tilted Sister. Also, hello friends. Sorry if I've missed you in chat. It's been a bit of a wild game. Currently have the channel stopping. Fury, very low, break it down just in time from the Lucio as well. This is going to be Fury Popsicle once again able to make it out alive. That's going to be Light Bomb coming out onto the Misha Bears. Rexar does get picked off. Yotaru so very low, doesn't end up getting picked up by the Hyperion, but Lucio ends up going down right there. Fury Popsicle trying to make it out. The Carrion Swarm will be able to carry the fight. That's going to be the kill onto them. Hooked on Phoenix gets one claw to the back, and they end up going down. Lava Wave from the Ragnaros pushing back top lane, but there's still this null camp in mid. It's fairly low in health, but I just want to look at camp timers. They could actually steal this one if they really wanted to. There's only 14 seconds onto that. They only need one person to be here, but instead they're going to go ahead and grab themselves a boss for bottom lane. Yeah, but you're a caster, and it comes with potent ability of screwing up. Yeah. The big thing for me too is like when I'm casting, it's a mile a second. Like we're going very, very, very quickly when it comes to talking and breaking things down. So like I'm going to screw things up constantly. My brain's going to just not slot the right information in the right spot. I mean, how many times have I been introducing characters in a very like a very calm moment. Like the intro to a game is not very intensive, and I'm still screwing up hero names. So it's just it comes with it. Messing up is part of it. It's part of life. But we now have fourth objective, if I'm not mistaken, coming out in favor for the members of Wood League. Wars were unleashed. Gonna get a slow onto a couple members. No 20 talents here just yet, as the boss is gonna be coming in through bottom lane. That's gonna be the Light Bomb coming out as well. Connects onto a couple members, but they only have the gate. Excuse me, the gate was in their way, so they have to kind of back off for a couple seconds, wait for their objective to come in here, or even let the boss start to tank and anchor a lot of the damage. Seems like that's gonna be the case. That's gonna be a huge blow up onto Joanna. I don't know how she got underneath the boss right there, but a Hyperion's coming out from the Rainer. This is gonna be Sestrin on the wrong side of that keep as it comes down, but that's going to be a great break it down from the Lucio to save them. Meanwhile, boss is still sitting with some couple thousand health. Yeah, 4,000 health onto them. Barcode and friends taking out the well in mid lane. They're going to try and end here, but this is probably one of the more difficult ends because of the fact that the core currently has 20 physical and spell armor. So it is going to be resisting a lot of the damage. Carrion Swarm going to be coming out, but that's going to be the Ragnaros getting picked off right there. Born to Shine getting very low. They're going to get chased out, and that's going to be Lucio going down. Reset after reset for Cavalar here, as they are going to get this core down to about half health. But as I was saying, they themselves, the damage that needs to go into this thing is a lot. And this is actually Mal'Ganis currently carrying the fight in the backline. Somehow, they're actually going to find the kill onto Tassadar. Yotaro able to get into Hall of Storms, but that will be game number 3 going over to the members of Wood League. GG. Well played.